All right. Happy Friday, everyone. We are back at it with the Lectric XP bikes. And I'm one of those people, man, honestly, where I don't know, man. When something's not working, it bugs the shit out of me. I mean, you just look at the videos that I've put on this channel throughout the time I've been doing this stuff. Even the channel before, for those of y'all who don't know, I had another channel and it got taken down because it was kind of like my own personal interest. So in addition to this, be other stuff, and it got taken down. So anyway, um, typically I fix everything that I get my hands on, right? So I'm not okay with something just simply not working. You know what I mean? Like we get the part and then it's something else or something. Like so, for example, the batteries in these things. You look at the previous videos. I replaced the batteries in both of these. The white one is working, no problem, and then the black one was still having a problem. Now, based on what the customer told me when he first got these bikes, the black one turned on. That one turned on and the white one didn't. And then both of them wouldn't turn on. So we're here, right? So now we got new batteries in them. The white one turns on, the black one doesn't. So I'm sitting here like, okay, well, what's going on with you? You got a new battery in you. What's going on? So I decided to do some troubleshooting, well, some further troubleshooting because it's actually not a simple problem. And I really had to think about how to figure out what is going on with this thing, right? Batteries give me correct voltage. Okay, I'm getting 52 out of there. So I said, okay, let's start with the battery plate, right? So the plate that goes on the other side of the battery. When I plugged it in, it's plugged into the battery right now. And so what I did was I tested the voltage at this end of the battery plate, right? And I was getting 54.2. This is a fully charged battery. So I'm like, okay, so there's nothing wrong with this plate, okay? Nothing wrong with the plate because the voltage is coming through. Then I tested the voltage on the other side of the connector to the controller, right? Guess what I got right here? 54.2. So I know that right at this point, I'm getting 54.2 volts going into the controller. So I said, all right, let me do this. Let me unplug all of those plugs over there, unplug the motor wire over right there, right? And then I'll plug everything back in and then we'll try to spark it up, right? We did that, nothing. I said, okay, the only way for me, and luckily I have a second bike right here. The only way for me to truly determine what is going on with this thing is to slave this bike to that one. So that's what we did. Let me show you. So what I did was I unplugged let's go over here. I unplugged so that's the green one. Okay. So I unplugged the on and off button right here. I unplugged this one. And what I did was I unplugged the on and off button on this bike. And so now I have it connected right here. Or wait a minute. Yeah, wait. Yes, it's this one. Okay. And then I'm like, okay, I did that first. And when I turned it on, let me show you what happened. Boom, I got power. So essentially what's happening here is that this on and off button and this dash is actually slave to that controller. So what this is telling me is that the controller works. This is how we figured this is how we figured out that the controller works right here. Okay? Because I got this button plugged into this plug right here, which that button would be plugged into. Okay? And I'm like, okay, so we've got power. Okay. And then I said, well, let's test to see if the controller will take energy and spin the motor. So we're going to go pedal assist 1, right? Because we don't want a catastrophe to happen. So what we're going to do here, we're going to come over here, okay? And I am going to lift this up with this hand. So bear with me here. Let me find a good way to do this. I'm gonna lift it up like, hold on. Let's do it like that. And then I can lift it up like, hold on, like this. And when I spin this throttle over here, look at that. There you go. Look at that. Boom. So guess what the freaking problem is? It's the goddamn switch. And this, or this is all one thing, right? See, so this runs, right, into the screen. So if you get a new one of these, or a new one of these, it's gonna come with one of these, right? Because this runs into this, and then the cord that comes out of here is this. This is your problem. There's the problem. Huh. Son of a biatch. That is the problem. All right. So, I'm gonna call the customer back up. Hey, Mike, I found something. Son of a gun. This thing works. It is literally this component right here. It is the on button and the dash. Something is going on with this right here. Boom. That is cray cray. What? All right, I just had to get this one documented again, man, you know, because I've been kind of railing on their batteries and stuff. And, you know, listen, I ain't the only one that made videos on YouTube about the batteries that come in these bikes. So I'm not the only one who's got criticisms of it. But given that we had new batteries, we ended up finding out that it wasn't an issue with the new batteries. It is an issue with the dash and the on and off button. All right, so for people who have would-be issues or problems with your Lectric XP step-through or your 3.0, right, the black version with the straight bar, okay, your problem actually could be this right here and that right there, this whole piece right here. Because that's the issue right here. We just isolated that. You guys just saw it. Okay, that dash and that button and that throttle will spin that wheel right there, and it's all plugged into this. Okay, well, there is my update for this. I'm kind of tapping myself on the shoulder here because this was driving me batty. I was like, dude, no effing way. It's like, no, it's like, come on, man. It's come on, something. It's something. So there you go. All right. You know, any questions or anything else, man, post them in the comments. I'll get at you. Peace.